You are listening to a MetalExpressRadio.com interview. Enjoy.
Hey, this is Mick Burgess, and I'm joined backstage at Northumbria University with Buck Dharma and Eric Bloom from Blue Oyster Cult. Gentlemen, it's great to see you again.
We are here, ready to rock.
I mean, you're over in the UK for a series of shows, and last night was the first night of your tour, although you did play at the Stone Free Festival a week earlier. I mean, how did your show in Manchester go?
Manchester was smashing.
Yeah, it was great. Great show.
We did a 2-hour set with the first 55 minutes or so was the first album in its entirety.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, because I know at Stone Free you were doing the first album and you were recording it for a live album as well, so I was wondering if that was the plan on the whole tour.
About 15 minutes before the show, we decided that a lot of fans who couldn't make London were like on Facebook and things like that saying, gee, I wish they would do it here, so we decided at the last minute that we would play it in Manchester also.
And that is probably what I've always enjoyed about Blue Oyster Cult shows when I've seen you over the past 30 years or so, is how each night's different and how you change.
We try to keep it.
You do, yeah, and you the set list develops each night depending on how the crowd goes.
And also we call some audibles, and in the middle of the show we'll change it just on the vibe of the audience.
Yeah. So I mean, doing that first album must mean there's a couple of songs on there that you probably haven't played live, if ever.
Right.
It screams "You're as beautiful as a foot redeemed," for example.
Yeah. And I'm on the Lambs. We haven't played since
since we wrote Red and the Black. We haven't played.
I think you were sound checking that before. I think.
Last night is the first night ever. Probably we played I'm on the Lamb and Red and the Black on the same night.
Oh. That's an interesting combination.
Yeah.
So were any of those quite tricky to sort of relearn how to play, or did it come back to you fairly quickly?
No, everything is tricky.
It took some work. Took some work.
Yeah. So apart from the rest of the set list, I was delighted to hear. I was hanging around the door there. I Love the Night, which is one that you haven't played in. Certainly that I haven't seen you play.
We play once in a while.
Yeah. Is that planned for tonight?
We never know till.
Yeah. We just like to have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So we play it once in a while. Just keep up on it.
Songs like that and Perfect Water, different sort of deep track of Buck's songs. We keep ready for a night where maybe we can stretch out a little bit.
Yeah. So just over the way there's Newcastle City Hall, which was the venue where you recorded part of Some Enchanted Evening way back in the 70s. I mean, do you know if you recorded the whole show that night?
In 75?
I imagine if they recorded the whole show.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the rest of it is.
Yeah. I mean, over the years, you've had the knack of picking some pretty good songs to cover. I think probably one of my favourites is MC5's Kick Out the Jams.
Yeah.
What do you look for a song when you want to sort of cover it? I mean, what's the sort of...
There's no rule. It's just
Yeah, we have to be able to do a good job on it too.
Yeah.
We wouldn't try something that we couldn't at least bring something new to the song, and honor it.
We haven't done a cover in a while, but we did Jailbreak. We're big Thin Lizzy fans. So we did, for a short time, we did Friday on My Mind.
Oh, the Easy Beats.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah.
It has to be a song we really like.
Yeah.
Always wanted to play.
So if it just sort of piques your interest, you might just pop it in there.
Yeah. Also, we have enough material that we don't really have to go to a cover to.
Yeah, we're not doing any covers right now.
Yeah. Again, I think that's always been one of the strengths of.
And then also people on Facebook or someplace will slag us. Why are you playing a cover?
Yeah.
And you have so many deep tracks. So I'll take that as being okay.
Don't do it. Yeah. That's it. I mean, I think
people always have an opinion.
It's a sort of measure of a band's catalogue. Is not so much the songs they do play; it's what they can leave out. So you can say leave out, I don't know, Flaming Telepaths or Veteran of the Psychic Wars, but it's what you can put in.
Yesterday or the day before, somebody posted the last time you played here, Manchester. The opening act played too long, and we didn't get our encore. Blah blah blah. Always somebody has something to say.
Yeah.
So we were assiduous last night to get our full 2-hour show.
Yeah. Excellent. Because since last time we spoke, we've lost. You've lost Alan Lanier, and he retired from the band a couple of years before then. And losing Alan, not just a bandmate, but a friend, must have been quite hard quite hard to take.
Well, he wasn't well,
No.
and he couldn't tour anymore.
Yeah, and you just are more aware of the wheel turning of life, and we're all mortal.
Yeah, I mean, were you glad to get that sort of last chance to all, the whole original lineup played together at
The 40th
New York,
anniversary,
the New York show in 2012?
Yeah,
It
of
must have
course we
been-
didn't know he was going to die, but it was great that we did play with him.
Yeah, it was pretty sudden.
Yeah, and that show was actually delayed a little bit, wasn't? Because it was the
We had a
hurricane.
storm. Yeah, it was.
The original date was the day of Hurricane Sandy in New York.
Oh dear.
Yeah, of course you only get it in the news, but we had to live it.
Yeah.
I live in New York, so everything was paralyzed for several days, even longer. I had no power for 5 days.
All right, it's not really a great atmosphere for
Yeah.
a reunion show, is it? So when you did get to do that show, did you record it or?
I don't think so.
I think there was some video record of it.
Yeah, I think there is like a one
I
camera.
don't think there was
Woody?
a multi-track.
Was there
audio
some camera
recording.
going out there?
Steve probably.
Yeah, I think our manager ran one camera at the soundboard.
Yeah. Oh, at least you've been able
There's a little
to.
history there somewhere.
At least you
Yeah.
captured it. But Patti Smith was going to play at the original show, but she couldn't make it, could
yeah,
she?
she couldn't make it
Yeah.
the new date.
I think she was over here during the second show. She was in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, we had a lot of plans for the original date that we had worked on and practiced. We were all set to go, and then the storm hit, and all the plans went out the window.
That's rock and roll, isn't it? Sometimes these things, the best laid plans and all that.
But one thing that did come out different, to the betterment, I think, was Joe Bouchard couldn't make the original date, but he could make the second.
All right. Yeah.
So that changed.
I mean, it must be nice, sort of special being able to play all 5 years back together again. Sort of after so
Although
after
we
so
couldn't
long.
we couldn't rehearse.
Oh, so
It
yeah.
came out a little raw, more raw than we would have liked.
Yeah. At least you still did it though. I mean, moving on to the sort of back close to the future. A couple of years ago, we did the 40th anniversary of Agents of Fortune, and Albert appeared at a couple of shows. I think you played in London together. And Buck, you've played on Joe and Albert's Blue Coupe album. I mean, do you sort of think this has opened the door a little bit to sort of maybe collaborate a little bit, maybe on other projects together? Because I know you have sort of kept in touch over the years.
I just did a song. Albert is doing or finishing a record of Michael Moorcock songs, and he asked me to do one, which I did. So that's in the can. It's coming out. So yeah, we're doing stuff together on a very ad hoc basis.
Keeps it fun that way, keeping it a bit more sort of bit more informal. But the current lineup features Jules and Richie on drums and guitar and keyboards. And they've been with you for a good 12, 13 years now. Do you feel that they've brought that sort of stability back into the band?
Yeah, I think this iteration of the band is very stable and as a real style of its own too.
Yeah. Did I see Danny Miranda?
You
out
did see
before?
Danny.
Back in the band,
So is it back in the band full time, or is it just?
I'd say
Yeah, definitely
yes.
for the end of this year and probably beyond.
Yeah. Because he walked in. Because I thought it was Casey Sultan.
Cassie was
Yes.
left to go to rejoin Todd Rundgren.
Todd Rundgren, yeah.
He's playing with Todd, and I think he's working in Don Felder's band now too.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
That's his decision.
Yeah. It's good to see Danny back though, because I've seen Danny a few times with the band, so it's like it's like an old friend returning to the band.
Glad to have him.
Yeah, the band has a unique swagger with Danny on bass.
Because you've said again, last couple of times we spoke, you said they've got no plans to record new material, but there's been a few rumours coming out here and there that you're thinking about recording. Is there a
Our
chance?
manager is negotiating with 2 labels as we speak.
Yeah.
Nothing is etched in stone, but they're negotiating.
Yeah, we'll probably make one last LP.
And now you've got the 2 new members in 13 years, new members.
Right.
Do you think they'll bring in some creative input as well, because they're
Obviously.
pretty talented
Sure they will,
musicians? Yeah. Because you'd also talked about doing an acoustic album at one point as well. Is that?
But yeah, that never seemed to get farther than talking about it.
Yeah. So this tour, it marks the 45th anniversary of your first record, and really 45 years in rock and roll's incredible. by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, what keeps you motivated after so long to keep coming out onto the road and leaving home and touring?
Well, we get paid for it.
Yeah.
They're leaving home.
Yeah.
Bye.
Beats working in an office as well.
Yeah. I mean, we still enjoy the work. You know? It's if it wasn't good, we wouldn't do it, and if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it. But as long as it is,
Although this,
the light's on at the end of the tunnel, I would say.
Yeah.
It won't go on
the
forever.
bouncing around on this tour has been a little hectic.
Yeah.
Living in a tour bus and all that's a little hectic.
But making music is about the only thing we know how to do.
So how many shows do you get through each year these days then?
Somewhere between 75 and 95, somewhere in there.
Busy. It's busy. Did you ever dare think when you put that first record out that this would be your whole life, basically your career?
No.
Had no idea.
Yeah. Because I always had the impression that back then, people thought, I might get 1 or 2 albums, then I'll have to go and get a real job and
That
work
was
in an
the
office.
expectation.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. You hope.
One day. But talking of books, JK Rowling wrote Career of Evil under the pseudonym of Robert Galbraith. I mean, she's a big Blue Oyster Cult fan. That must be quite a thrill.
We invited her, but no show.
Yeah, it's flattering for us, but I don't know how far that's going to go. But I guess HBO is going to make a series about that.
Yeah,
and that's good. So
what she needs to do is get you to write the music for the series.
Funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, there's a chance we may have a shot at the dream, and as the Career of Evil book obviously is going to have a lot of POC stuff, and maybe there's an opportunity for some incidental music. Who knows? I don't know.
let's hope so, because I always thought the Godzilla movie missed a big opportunity with that.
No shit.
I know, it should have been on the radio, and when Godzilla's foot came down, squashed.
Stopped it.
Big mistake. Just last couple of questions. A couple of years ago, you released the mother of all box sets, the Columbia years, with all the studio albums, the outtakes, the downloads of live shows, and what have you. There's loads of nuggets in there for fans who haven't heard a lot of that before. Is that the archives completely cleared out now, or is there still a few bits and bobs lying around?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I don't have it, put it that way. If it's in CBS's vaults or something, perhaps, who knows.
They have, an archive that's Stone Mountain.
Iron Mountain.
Iron Mountain. And they have stuff in there that who knows, that somebody would have to go in there and start digging.
All right, so
There's
you
a
don't
chance.
know, but there's a chance. There's a chance.
We didn't record a lot of extra stuff in the day, especially in the studio.
But there's
probably a lot of live
There were
recordings.
live radio broadcasts
Yeah.
that, I don't think have all seen the light of day. I mean, they did then.
Eric, Buck, it's been an absolute pleasure. Lovely to see you again.
You too, Mick.
Can't wait for the show tonight.
Yep.
The music will be rocking.